So I remember one time when my daughter was little, she was such a happy kid and always smiling and laughing and funny, and she was just a fun kid. Um, but one day she was very, I don't know, she just wasn't in a good mood or something. And she started crying. And I was trying to figure out why she was crying, and I took care of all of her needs. And she was probably 6 months old, I guess. She was in her little playpen. And so I thought, this is so rare that I think I'm going to take a picture of her. so I took a picture of her bawling her eyes out, and I still have the picture. But I was thinking about that just a little bit ago, because today I'm not going to like bawl my head off, but I don't feel like it's one of those blah days, one of those blase kind of like you don't feel like doing anything. There's a bunch of things you could be doing, but like I have a lot of moving parts to my life, and I can go in any direction I want, anytime I want, because I live by myself and I have a lot of interests and people I'm friends with and all that stuff. But I don't know. Today I don't feel like doing anything. Today I just feel kind of like in a dead zone or frog water, whatever you want to call it, where it's just the doldrums. There's no breeze, there's no movement, there's no activity. I could come up with a ton of things if I wanted to, but I don't feel like I want to. But I also know there are ways to pull yourself out of this funk. I'm not sad, by the way. I'm not having an existential crisis, nothing like that. It's just one of those days where you just feel la la la, like you could go back and take a nap. You could just take another nap. Like, I'm not tired. You ever feel that way? Of course, I think that our minds often tend to reel out of control when we feel like that. And we feel like, oh my God, what's wrong with me? Why am I feeling this way? And then you try to look around your life to, God, even my throat feels weird. Not, that's so weird. Okay, so my throat feels constricted and it feels tight. Not like, I'm coming down with something, but just kind of like I'm not talking right. So that is an interesting thing to observe. It's always interesting to observe yourself, because so many times we're looking outside of ourselves for answers or someone to blame or justifying a mood or an emotion or, a day like today. We're always trying to figure that out. I like trying to figure things out, but I love, researching and trying to get answers to questions. So anyway, yeah, my throat feels funny. Like maybe I should do some kind of throat clearing exercise. Anyway, so what I'm going to do, there's also I'm meeting up with a person today that really wants to be my friend. And I don't know why, but I don't really want to be friends with her. And I can't figure out how to get myself out of it. I mean, I could just ghost her. I could do, what do you do when you feel like you don't want to be friends with somebody? Or you don't want to be friends with them anymore? That's even more complicated. That's always awkward. I've had that happen a few different times. And I've had it happen where people don't want to be friends with me anymore and what it is they do. And so I try to pick up on those signals. see how many different directions I can go to in one. Like, I've only been talking for 4 minutes, probably. And everything's connected, so I have to comment on every bit of it. Yeah, so constricted throat energy, lack of motivation, no emotions, really. So I just wanted to come on here and say that stuff and see where you're at with that. Do you relate to this at all? Does this happen to you? What do you do? Why has it happened to you? What things have you figured out? I'm not necessarily trying to figure it out. I mean, I might later. But if you're wondering what I'm looking at, I picked up this labradorite out of my bowl of rocks. And I don't know, I just love it. I'm looking at it in the light, looking at all the different little features about it. Anyway, so tell me if you feel this way. Tell me why that kind of thing happens to you. Of course, we could blame it on the transits. We could just, like some people just like, I'm just not in a very good mood. Well, that's old school. I don't know, that's old school stuff to me. I don't know if I really get into a mood. I suppose this could be considered a mood, where like I'm just kind of in a blasé mood, I suppose. But I also know there's 400 or 500 reasons why you could feel this way. And that's me. I'm always trying to get to the bottom of it. I heard something out there. That's why I was wondering. Oh, I know what it is. I got a load going in the washer, and it's making noise in my kitchen sink. It sometimes does that, and I'm like, what the heck? Anyway, yeah, okay, so think about that. Think about, like, you probably immediately have, situations like this that you think of and what you do about it. I think a big solution to it is either A, roll with it just comfortably, just go ahead and just roll with it, do nothing, play a game on your phone, go take a nap, lay face down on your carpet, whatever. So there's that, you could do that. The other thing is you could just like get up and go do something even if you don't feel like it. I've tried that a few times and that actually works. And it actually kind of propels you into a different mood, if that's what you want to call it. Anyway, so I'm trying to decide which avenue to take right now. What would you do? Would you do A, just roll with it, or would you do B, propel yourself out of it? I think sometimes when you feel this way, it's like your body is just saying, dude, you have to dial back, or you have to, peel away, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, listening to your body is a thing. And so, yeah, I think I'm just going to go listen to my body. Maybe I'll ask my pendulum a few questions. Hold on, I got to lick this salt. I love salt. My wonderful friend Eileen bought this little wooden bowl. So beautiful. She went to Kona, Hawaii with my friend Jade. And then the thing she brought me back from there as a souvenir was a little wooden bowl with Kona sea salt from the very, very deepest depths of the ocean around Hawaii, where it's like has the best salt, I guess, and they bring it up and desalinate it. You know what that tells me? This says love to me. because only somebody that knows me really well, because they listen to me and they love me, knows that this would be the best thing to buy for me, is a cute little wooden bowl full of really precious salt with a story behind it. Yeah. Salt is so good for you. Anyway, that's why I keep it right here. I also have a big stone bowl of Celtic sea salt in the kitchen. And I have it right in the middle of the kitchen on the little island. And all through the day, I'm licking on that. I love that. If you think like the old school belief of like, oh, you're going to end up having a stroke or whatever, it's like, go do some new research. Salt is a thing, and it's an important thing. And the less we have of it, the unhealthier we get. Anyway, and not everybody needs a lot of salt, but I know I've always been a person that needs a lot of salt. I'm glad I figured out what other, healthy salts and stuff. That's a good idea. Anyway, all right, well, I'm going to go figure out which direction I'm going to go. And then I will get back to you and let you know what I ended up doing. I'll do a part 2, and I'll try to learn how to put it up here so that you can see. I'm new at videos. I'm new at, CapCut and all that. So, yeah, just keep watching if it's, makes you happy. If it doesn't, stop. All right, I'll talk to you later. Okay, bye.